All right, first of all, definitely just want to thank our fans for another sellout, 3 straight to start the season, 2 of which are non-SEC games. That's awesome. And for those that thought, well, it's a sellout, but it'll be 3/4 full or half full, that was not the case. That was an awesome environment, and our guys were juiced up and excited to play, and really appreciate our fans. They're the best in the nation, and they showed that again tonight as well. So we appreciate it. Need to do it again next week against South Carolina State, last non-conference home game of the year. So we need to do it again. Proud of our football team. There's no question this hasn't been an easy week around here, and come off the disappointment of last Saturday and some of the other stuff from this week, and just to play like we did for the most part. Really, really proud of them. To run the ball. I told Marcus earlier this week I want to run the ball 40 times Saturday night, and it looks like we ran 40 exactly as well. And a lot of those other ones were called runs as well that were just balls that we kicked out on the perimeter also that were called runs. Really proud of that offensive line. We just gave the offensive line a game ball and gave Marshawns Lloyd a game ball. The key to the game was going to be to dominate the line of scrimmage, and the way they play their safeties, the running backs were going to have to make some one-on-one plays, make people miss. I mean, that was literally the key to the game that we told the offense, or told the team on Tuesday, offensively. Run or dominate the line of scrimmage, and running backs win your one-on-ones. And Marshawn did that. He got a game ball in there, averaging 11 yards per carry. Proud of those guys. And then when you see when you run the ball like that, it makes things a little bit easier in the passing game as well. I didn't like the way we started the football game on defense. Thought we were very lethargic. Didn't have a lot of energy. Disappointed a little bit in the competitive spirit. And and then they responded. We challenged them, and the biggest thing I saw from that early in the first half, I mean, it wasn't like they were racking up a ton of yards. We just couldn't get off the field on third down, and disappointing to not be able to get off the field. We pride ourselves on getting off the field on third down and weren't able to do it. But they came back. Coach White always says those turnovers come in bunches once you get one, and we were able to do that tonight. So that was awesome to see. And missed too many sacks. I think that game could have gotten under control a little bit better in the first half if we just don't miss sacks, and we missed a couple of those. Really proud of the way our guys played in the third quarter. I know it great. It was ugly there for a while in the first half. Second quarter, we get a stop finally on defense. They punt it, and then we went, 95 yards, I think, and then finished with a field goal, or 90 yards, whatever it was. It was a long drive, 2-minute offense to get a field goal there, and then to come out in the third quarter and score 3 touchdowns was fantastic. Proud of our guys, because we talk about when adversity hits, we get stronger, and that we were going to face some tonight, and it wasn't pretty, and then probably was some people's sense, oh gosh, here we go again, and things like that, and we shut the door on that in the second half as well. Didn't like the way we finished, put some of our backups in there in the fourth quarter, and had a penalty defensively, gave up a touchdown pass over our heads on defense, 2 turnovers on offense, and just told the team in there, there's a standard we play to here, and it doesn't matter what the scoreboard says or who's in the game, you're expected to play a certain way. And disappointed in that as well, but good to see some young guys get in there and make some plays, and another step. Now the key for us, we just told the team in the locker room, we haven't won back-to-back games here since we beat Eastern Illinois and East Carolina last season, game 1 and game 2. So all last year we were just up and down, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and proud of the resiliency our team showed last year to never lose 2 games in a row and always come back. But it's time for us now to put another great week of practice together, which is what we had this week, and then go try and get better as a football team this week. That's what we challenged our guys on this week, was just block out all the other stuff and just get better. And they did, and we're going to need to again this week before South Carolina State comes in here. So any questions you guys have, fire away.
Shane, we've seen Clayton's defense as being a kind of a second-half adjustment team. At halftime, did you guys talk, you and Clayton, or did you just say you've got it and let him talk to his kids?
No, at halftime we always, the offense breaks up, the coaches, the defense breaks up. I usually bounce around, but I was with the defense tonight, but I didn't need to say anything. I mean, the thing that I was going to say to them is exactly what Clayton said to the staff. We ain't changing any calls. We just got to compete better. because we didn't feel like our guys were competing like we wanted them to. So I didn't have to say anything really. Clayton was already handling it with his staff. Now I don't want to say forcefully, but made it very clear what he expected in the second half from the defensive coaching staff and the players that they coach. I mentioned to them just that exactly, and then just reminding our guys, a couple times in the first half, their quarterback. We always tell our guys, any coach does, when you're coming off the edge under pressure to go to that upfield shoulder so he can't spin out of it. And we missed about 2 or 3 sacks, it looked like, in the first half, not doing that. But that was really it. I had a bunch of things I was going to talk about with the defense when I went in there, but Clayton handled it, and they responded.
2 for you. Just how are Dylan and Terrell doing? And I guess from the offensive standpoint, averaged over 8 yards a play, scored on your first 8 drives. Just how cathartic was that offensive performance after kind of an up and down 2 weeks?
Yeah, Dylan late in the week of practice hurt his foot. Not severe. It's a similar injury, I think, to what Christian Beal-Smith had, but not nearly as severe as what Christian's was. I would hope that Dylan would be back this week. If not this week, definitely Kentucky in 2 weeks. Dawkins is going to be out a while. He had a knee injury. He actually had surgery on Thursday or Friday. Hope we'll be able to get him back. It's not his ACL. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back. It probably will be a month, 6 weeks at the most. So as we go into November, would hope that he'd be able to get back, which is why you saw Brian Thomas, a true freshman, out there tonight, and whatnot. The depth, obviously, at defensive end is a concern right now with Jordan. We've lost Jordan Strawn and now Terrell Dawkins to a position that was very thin to begin with. So we've got to continue to get these young guys to come along, and we got to be creative with what we're doing defensively. And then absolutely, and we needed that from an offensive standpoint because, like I just said, when you run the ball as effectively as we did tonight, it makes things so much better in the passing game. And that was an efficient offense tonight, and that's what we expect. I just told Marshawn in there, I don't care if it's Georgia, Charlotte, whoever. That's how we need to play football around here. We talk about running the ball and stopping the run, and we did that tonight. And it goes back to how we practiced during the week and the way that our guys committed to getting better this week.
Shane, what do you think of Marshawns' hurdle over there? And you think Coach Fry might be looking for him for the track team?
He may. We're all for two-sport athletes around here. We're recruiting one right now that would be an unbelievable track athlete and football player here as well. So if Coach Fry wants him, we'll put him over there. No, it was good. I was proud of Marshawn, and he's gotten better as well. And he ran the ball with bad intentions tonight. And I like all those backs. Marshawn, CBS got in there and did some good things. Juju did some good things. Good to see him score late as well.
I guess, Shane, kind of on Marshawn, have you guys seen him hurdle anyone in practice? Or is that a first-time go with that, I guess?
I'm sure he has. I think everybody on that sideline was excited when he did it, though. I can't recall if he did. Marshawn's a super talented player. I'm sure he'll tell you that he has at some point, but it was pretty cool to see him do that.
Hey, Shane. You said the offensive line got a game ball tonight as well. What do you think has been the biggest change in that group from, that first Georgia State game where, we were very critical of them to where they are now?
Yeah, just working and it'll be, I'm sure people will say, well, with Charlotte, that's what's expected and all that. But, those guys tonight, give Charlotte credit, and two, I don't think it matters who we were playing tonight. If they play with that energy and competitive spirit and physicality, we'll continue to be able to run the ball effectively. And that's what I see. I was never down on them as maybe some of y'all were or people on the outside. When I've been telling you guys that we're close and it's not as bad as it looks in the run game, I really truly believe that. And we gave them opportunities tonight, wore Charlotte down as the game went on, and they just continue to work, and that's without our starting offensive tackle, that didn't play tonight as well. So to me, it's just continue to get better, and I think if anything, too, Emily, it's maybe not that we were doing a ton of schemes, but literally all we did tonight was run the counter play over and over again, and some inside zone in there, and that was really about it. Where maybe in some of those other games, we had a few more schemes. We saw last week against Georgia that we can line up and run the ball well with certain plays and things like that. And that's what we just really tried to continue to build on tonight.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about that kind of outside criticism the offensive line has gotten, but you've kind of stuck by them. Just how prideful were you in knowing all the work they put in behind the scenes to see them go out there and turn in a game like this?
Yeah, very proud, but, that's for all of our guys, just the way they work in practice. These are still, I don't hate to use the word kids, but they're 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, a lot of them, and they work really, really hard during the week. It's really, really important to them. As disappointed as people were last weekend, nobody was more upset and disappointed than our players were. But like always, they came right back to work and committed to getting better this week. We really tried to make a point and be intentional about getting closer as a football team this week as well, relationship-wise, and just getting back to having fun. And I don't know if our guys were pressing a lot and wanting it too bad the last couple of weeks, but that's all we talked about all week. That's all we talked about at the hotel. That's what we talked about before the game was just relax and just go play, man. Like, you work your butt off during the week. Saturdays should be the fun part. And let's play with great energy out there tonight. And so I was proud to see our offensive line do that, but just really proud of all of our guys to be able to enjoy. Winning is not easy, and we're going to savor every win around here and learn from it, good and bad, and get ready to go again next week.
Hey, Shane, a couple of quick ones. The first one, you mentioned you had the effort early. Did some of your motion kind of stress your guys' communication at all in those early stretches? And also, you guys were shuffling offensive linemen a little. Is that just guys getting dinged up a little bit, or is that still kind of trying to find good fits there?
Second question first. That was the plan, just to play some of those guys and shuffle, rotate some guys in there, just to play our guys as well, trying to continue to develop depth as well. So we had decided early, I guess Ja'Kai started, at left tackle, and then Jalen, we had made plans. He was going to come in probably the second series, if not sooner. Same thing with Trey Jones. He did some good things in practice, or did some good things against Georgia, and wanted to get him some more work. And then as far as their motions, yeah, a little bit. They're a big motion team on first and second down. Based on our breakdown, they used motion, I think, 60% of the time on first or second down. So we knew we were going to have to communicate, and we've got some young guys back there in the secondary, and that was the thing that Clayton and I talked about, or the whole staff talked about today in our meeting at the hotel, was we really got to over-communicate defensively, and some of these young guys like DQ and Nick got to talk and speak up. So I don't know if it confused us, but it maybe early on softened up the coverage a little bit and prevented us from being maybe as physical and competitive as we wanted to at the line of scrimmage. But as the game went on, we got a better feel for it, and those guys got back to making plays.
Yeah, Coach, you said a second ago that you mentioned to Sat that you wanted to run the ball, maybe 40 times. How often do you, communicate with him about something as specific as that, as we want to run this amount of times, throw this amount of times? How often do y'all do that?
I'd say pretty regularly. We during the week on Monday nights, me and Sat and Clayton, I meet with Pete every day, and here's the plan, and here's how we're going to try and win this game. But then on Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, Sat and Clayton and I, always sit down and just kind of talk about, okay, early in the week, here's what we think, here's how we best can attack these guys. Then Tuesday night, we talk about the third down plan. Wednesday night, we talk about the red zone plan. So we're always communicating as well. I don't know how often I've been that specific about running the ball 40 times, but I don't think Sat needed me to tell him that. It wasn't like he was Don Coryell or somebody out there trying to throw the ball. Look that one up for all you young guys. Trying to throw the ball 60 times. He wants to run the ball as well. We all do, and knew it would help Spencer and help our entire offense if we could just get this run game going. And I believe in running the football, and so does our offense and offensive staff.
Hey, Shane, got a couple for you. You've talked a lot about trying to whittle things down on offense this year, trying to maybe simplify things. You just mentioned now you only ran a couple, kind of a couple concepts running. How do you feel like that process is going, just trying to narrow things down for the offense? And did we see a close version of what it should be tonight?
You got another one?
Oh, I'm sorry.
He said you had two.
On the turnovers.
Trying to let you off the hook?
No. Defense, 3 turnovers tonight. You said last week that was going to be kind of a big emphasis this week. Do you have an inkling that was coming, or is it just kind of hard work finally paying off?
As far as the schematically, I every week, you're trying to really narrow down what gives you the best chance to be successful and allow our guys to go play fast. And I mean, we're still a work in progress. Offensively, yes, we returned the offensive line, but it's new quarterback, and Marshawn wasn't the starter at running back all year long, and Austin Stogner's new, and Juice Wells is new, and you saw Corey Rucker out there tonight, and so it's a lot of new faces for sure. And I think Sat and Spencer and everybody is just trying to continue to kind of figure out who we are and all that as well, and what gives us the best chance to be successful each week, and not that we didn't. It's just, okay, Spencer likes this, Spencer doesn't like this. We're really good at this run scheme and out of this formation and things like that. So every week we want to do that and do what gives us the best chance to be successful. And when you're able to operate as efficiently as we did tonight, you don't have to call as many plays as well. But that needs to be the thing. But you also want to be multiple enough where you can mix different personnel groupings in there. We did that tonight. I mean, we had some 3 tight end stuff that we ran the ball and threw out of as well and whatnot. And then as far as the turnovers go, it's one of those there. You don't want to overemphasize it where guys are pressing. To me, we've just been talking to our guys. Just continue to know what to do, be where you're supposed to be, and then just play with unbelievable effort and great physicality, and just continue to fly around and play with great effort, and those turnovers are gonna come. And we knew tonight with their quarterback, and it's the same thing with Stetson last week, is we really want to try. We got some length on the defensive line, really want to try and get hands up and bat balls and things like that, and we were able to do that tonight also. And then drop some interceptions as well. I mean, I think Cam had one that he dropped. Maybe DQ had the one they looked at and reviewed. Yeah, so I mean, we had a chance to get a couple more as well.
Anybody else? Last one, Ben.
Don't be yawning back there. It's a great night. Am I that boring? I mean, you got class. You missed the Tuesday press conferences now because of your class schedule. Then you come to a press conference and you're yawning like I'm boring you out here. Come on. Mine too. These night games, I love them, but man. Now go do the post-game radio and the post-game TV show with me and get home about an hour and a half from now too. So, what you got, Ben?
I'm not gonna lie. I had to look up Don Coryell. I thought you said Don Corleone at first, and it took me a second, so I wasn't sure where you were going with that. But
I know. Get them right, the young guys, David. Get them right.
Did you get an explanation on the Van catch that was overturned at the beginning of the game?
The Van catch that was overturned.
That far sideline, I think.
No, they never gave me one. There were a few that I was trying to get explanations on tonight, a few different things, and that crew was great at getting me the information that I needed. But I think, what did he say? He didn't control the catch to the ground, and we felt like, just looking at it, that the ball kind of touched the ground or whatever. We went out of bounds, so I understand it. Okay, you got one now that you're awake, or you good? I'm just messing with you. Yeah, let's get this thing over with so y'all can go to bed. Jeez. I'll try and be a little more exciting next week or on Tuesday. I know.
I'll be right, and I'll get some coffee.
Yes, exactly. We'll talk to Coach Tanner about the number of TV timeouts we have out there so we can try and get home a little bit earlier. We tried to run the ball to get home earlier tonight, so thank you guys. Y'all have a great night.